Welcome to History Clips.
And today we're going to talk about part one of the Cold War. Now to start, in the 1920s and 30s, America and the Soviet Union, also called the USSR, view each other as weary rivals. Each one is trying to have the best economy and the best military to one-up the other.
However, that's going to change and everything's going to get put on hold. You've got Nazi Germany arrives on the scene, they invade the USSR, and they've also declared the war on the United States in 1941. And they have to join forces to defeat Nazi Germany.
I had an idea for a script once. It's basically Jaws, except when the guys in the boat are going after Jaws, they look around and there's an even bigger Jaws, so the guys have to team up with Jaws to get bigger Jaws. I call it Big Jaws.
We now return to Big Jaws. Ah, stop eating our boat, Jaws.
Rawr, I'm gonna eat your boat, and then I'm gonna eat you guys. Rawr! Oh my God, what's that?
It's bigger Jaws.
Oh my God, now we have a common enemy. We have to work
After
together.
the end of World War II, President Truman of the United States comes up with what we know as the Truman Doctrine. And in the Truman Doctrine, it says that any democratically elected government can request help from the United States, either money or militarily, to help out their country.
And this help is known as containment, as in it's trying to contain the spread of the Soviet forces and communist ideology.
Well, look at Cena! Oh, wait, Ziggler! Ziggler close! Cena! Oh! Hits the door! Cena's gonna win!
Containment was largely successful. However, in some cases it did fail, like in 1949 and the Chinese Civil War.
And even with the Truman Doctrine providing economic and military aid to the Chinese government, they're inept leaders, they're fumbling around, they make careless mistakes, and Mao Zedong is able to take over and create the People's Republic of China, which despite its name, is a communist oligarchy.
All right, brother. Ready? Hear it. That's why we're friends. I don't want to get a lot of them. No, it doesn't take much. Okay. Oh. Hey, woo!
Yeah.
There we go. Nice. Under the leg. Yeah. Under the other leg. There we go. Whoa, bam! Whoa!
Near the end of the Chinese Civil War, another conflict is going to flare up, and that's in the Korean Peninsula. You have two parts of that area. You have North Korea, which was supported by the communist Chinese forces, and you had South Korea, which was supported by the United Nations and the United States.
This war becomes a situation where it's like little kids fighting, and then all of a sudden the adults decide, let's join in on the party. After 3 years of brutal fighting, the U.S. and its allies, the UN, win the Korean War. And nothing really changes. The borders don't change, and North and South Korea are still the way they are today.
Two of them now.
Now in 1957, something is going to happen that is going to terrify Americans everywhere. They're going to finally realize they are not safe from the skies. And that is the Soviet Union launches a satellite called Sputnik. It's about the size of a basketball, and the petrifying thing it does is it beeps.
And this creates the space race. Each country looks at this as if faster that we can get stuff into space using astronautical achievements, that proves that we are better technologically and we have braver people. And it freaks the Americans out.
Now, America is going to try to catch up, and they will succeed at that, but there will be a lot of mistakes along the way. A lot of astronauts will die.
No, it can't be true.
I could fly if I wanted to, like a bird in the sky. If I believed I could fly, why I'd fly.
To infinity and beyond.
Clearly, I will go sailing no more.
He dropped faster than the Cleveland Browns dropping Johnny Football. Never forget.
The U.S. is going to win the space race, though, because in 1969, the lunar landing in Apollo 11 is going to occur. Neil Armstrong was the first to step on the moon, and after him, Buzz Aldrin.
Allegedly on the moon, according to this website.
And yet you have Star Wars.
Oh man, that's the best idea since they faked the moon landing.
Okay, cut.
Wow, Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's
Now, after World War II, America does have an edge over the Soviet Union. And that is, America is the only country with fully functional and operating atomic weapons. But they're going to lose this advantage in 1949 when the Russians will develop a weapon of their own.
And this kind of leads into the nuclear arms race, which was also built off the space race. After 1957, the United States goes, oh, if we're losing technologically in the space race, we must be losing technologically in the nuclear arms race. So they're trying to come up with bigger, better, and more powerful weapons all the time.
You got a light, buddy?
Yeah, sure, kid. There you go.
and your wallet.
Nick, give him your wallet.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
People in both nations, in the United States and the USSR, really start to worry about this nuclear arms race. And this creates a situation where people get worried about the foolish use of nuclear weapons.
These aren't that hard to make.
40 pounds of plutonium.
I know a guy.
Nice.
I got these 2 sticks.
Oh, dang, these are yours? These are Roman candles, brother. This is good stuff.
You know what we need? Gasoline. Yeah. Breakfast of champions. All right, we might want to take a few extra steps back on this one. Oh, man. What'd I trip over?
There's something metal sticking out of the ground. You okay?
What is this thing, man?
Maybe we should take it over to that place, the laboratory over in the next town, Los Alamos. That symbol looks very stern.
Yeah, Nan, that's definitely what we should do. That's the right thing. But first... Yeah, jam that in the gas bucket. Yeah. We'll shoot fireballs at it. Yeah, we gotta step way back. It's gonna be fun. Oh man, we're gonna get so busted. Let's get out of here.
It's decided that the Truman Doctrine needs some more teeth, and what they're going to come up with is the Eisenhower Doctrine. And what this says is that any nation, not just democratic, republic, elected governments, but any nation, including a dictatorship and oligarchy, can ask for assistance and support from the United States to help combat communism.
And this was done because the United States was worried about these smaller, weaker, and poorer nations getting swallowed up by the Soviet Union and its ideology.
Wait a minute. He kinda looks like a baby.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain! Get in my belly! Come on! You're lucky, wee man! Ah!
Can I have a hug?
Dr. Evil, let me make you a deal, all right? You get the mojo, you keep your money, and I'll get your baby. Right. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs.
Excuse me.
Chili.
Now, 90 miles from where I had my honeymoon in Key West, Florida, in a little island called Cuba, a man is taking over, and his name is Fidel Castro. And after several years of civil war, his communist forces have finally defeated the U.S.-backed forces of the Batista regime.
And the U.S. responds with creating something called the Bay of Pigs. And this was where they used Cuban nationals that had left Cuba to get away from Castro to actually reinvade. This fails miserably.
9 men. And the leader of Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil. Titus had a very busy week here in Saudi Arabia. He's had dinner with many princes and very
In response to the Bay of Pigs incident, Castro comes up with an idea. He works out a deal with the USSR to actually have the USSR bring in nuclear missiles into his country to use it as a defense and also to mess with the US.
Now, this is the closest that the USSR and the United States are ever going to come to a nuclear war. But instead of responding with full military force, the American government decides we're going to blockade Cuba and prevent any ship from getting in or leaving the island nation. And after several tense days of negotiations, demands, threats, finally the USSR agrees to remove nuclear weapons from Cuba if in exchange, after that, the United States will remove nuclear weapons from Turkey.
Are you saying that Buddhism is stupid?
No, stupid. Maybe I'm saying that you're stupid.
You're calling me stupid?
I don't know, stupid. Did I just call you stupid? Stupid? Hey, is that guy waving at you or me?
Now, even though this is called a Cold War, there is officially no direct military action at all between the United States and the Soviet Union. Their soldiers never, as far as we can tell, directly get into a fight with one another.
Rather, both countries are content with using spies to get dirt on each other, or they use satellite nations to have direct conflict with us, or vice versa.
(11:15 a.m.) The man and the boy and the puppet leave the house.
11:16. Octavio speaks into tape recorder, thus leaving crucial evidence. Stupid idiot. Octavio must be gotten rid of. Dear Octavio, this is the hardest letter I've ever had to write.
It's all about blending in, Hummel. That's the secret.
While wearing a Russian hat. This underhanded way of fighting will finally spill over into another regional conflict known as Vietnam.
Here comes Kripke.
Who's that with him?
I believe that's the president of the university.
And the board of directors. Abort! Abort!
There is no abort. Well, how could you not put in an abort? I made a boo-boo, all right?
I think the board will really appreciate how well we're using that NSA grant, President Siva. Right here we have a micro-controlled plasma.
Wow, looks like the Ganges on laundry day.
At least they don't know it was you.
Hello, Kripke. This classic prank comes to you from the malevolent mind of Sheldon Cooper. If you'd like to see the look on your stupid face, this video is being instantly uploaded to YouTube. Oh, and a hat tip to Leonard Hofstadter and Raj Koothrappali for their support and encouragement in this enterprise.